Good evening, friends. It's a pleasure to welcome you all to this evening to a very different kind of a program where we are paying tribute to our past president and also the past president of the All India Management Association, a fatherly figure of AMA, Shri P.V. R.N. Iyer, and who was a great entrepreneur, most of all, a great human being who has contributed a lot. And this program is being held on this first death anniversary. And it's a pleasure. Where is Govind? His son, Govind, please. Govind is there. Welcome, Govind. It's so nice of Govind to come all the way from Bombay. This is Mr. P.V. R.N. Iyer. Why don't you come in the front, Govind, please? Okay. So it's so nice of him to come all the way for this function, paying tribute to his great dad. Mr. P.V. R.N. Iyer was a person, he was a great entrepreneur. He started off working. He worked not just a person who merely worked for a company, but he worked as an intrapreneur. Intrapreneur starting with a capital letter I. And that means a person who is working in an independent charge, he works just like an entrepreneur. And this is the way Mr. Iyer worked, putting his heart and soul into it. And he started his career at Park Davis in Lucknow at the most junior level, and he rose to become the sales manager for India, Sri Lanka, and Myanmar. And then he came to Ahmedabad, and he joined his friend's group of companies, that is Rohit Group of Companies. And he was a man who handled one by one companies. He first for Macco, Ravindra, then he was in RM and Engineering, and then Rohit Mills. All these three companies he turned around in a very short duration. So he was a firefighter and a turnaround expert. In fact, in those days, the word turnaround was not there. So that's how he worked. And subsequently, he joined a multinational, Alcom. He was back in Bangalore for a while, and he was a managing director of that company and worked like an entrepreneur. And later on, after the age of 70, he formed another company, OptiSurge, where he was in Ahmedabad, and they were selling special machine for measuring certain eye parameters and all that. And apart from that, this is his working career. But apart from that, his active involvement in AMA, it was like his second home. He was a president where AMA, of Silver Jubilee president, 81, 83. So when AMA was 25, today AMA is celebrating his 60th year. So he was the president that time. And then subsequently in the 90s, he was the president of the All India Management Association. AMA has given 3 IMA presidents. One of them is Mr. Iyer. And he was so active, besides attending all meetings while he was in Ahmedabad, he would attend all major talks or conferences like this. He would make it a point to come. Even at the age of past, 70s, 80s, he would come, though he was walking slowly, but he would make it a point. He has inspired so many people like me. Incidentally, I also met him when he was the AMA president, and I was a student at BK School, and he inspired me. He gave me a project. Why didn't you do this project for AMA? So this is also, I'm in fact privileged to be here on this function, but I have known him so closely. And to pay the tributes, we are having 3 entrepreneurs in their own right. All the 3 speakers here today are not actually guests. I will not call them guests. They may be speakers today addressing this forum, but they have been contributed in own fields like entrepreneurs. So we have Mr. B.N. Dastur. You are knowing that he has written so many books as a trainer at AMA. Then Mr. Yatindra Sharma, our past president, and Mr. Ambarbai Patel. I will introduce them to you briefly. And we have distributed a small docket where we have got a small write-up of Mr. P.V. R.N. Iyer. So I am not reading out the whole thing. You can go through it, how he has contributed. And also a book on entrepreneurial excellence written by Mr. B.N. Dastur. That has also been distributed to you. So this is what you can call a prasadi for today's function. And very quickly, I'll introduce the 3 speakers. Mr. B.N. Dastur, as you are aware, he has contributed immensely as a trainer, and he's a management and a marketing consultant and a trainer with over 40 years of experience. He's a regular columnist and reputed newspapers and authored over 100 books. And he writes books at an amazing speed. We have all witnessed that. And this is one of them. And he's also the editor of Medicraft and Revolution in Management. And he has written in various diverse topics like Sufism, athletics, healthcare, and even motoring. And can you imagine that this gentleman who is so energetic, he is 84 and so energetic, inspiring so many of us, And he is a recipient of various merit awards from Stanford University, USA, Arizona State University, Association of Business Communicators, and Gujarati Sahitya Parishad. And we have Mr. Ambar Patel, who has also been active with AMA for many years. And after graduating in mechanical engineering in '76, he joined the manufacturing industry at a grassroots level. That was Anup Engineering, and then moved to the Stovek Group. And then in '89, with his friends who became partners, they formed Shilp Growers, and that became a public listed entity. And they have offices today in different cities, and they are big exporters. And Mr. Ambar Patel's vision to provide the best to the printing industry resulted in collaboration with RESPA Italy and Shilp Growers Limited. A new plant was set up at Santej. The success story continued, and the third plant was set up in Baula with another collaboration of the company called HMSU Rollers India Private Limited, a collaborative entity of Hanicard Belgium, Metex Germany, and Shilp and Unimark from India. Under his leadership, Shilp has won several awards, Print Week Award 2014 and 15 and AIF MP National Award. He is a director of the Kalupur Commercial Cooperative Bank and chairman of the MSME Committee. He is also the member of the Governing Council and chairman of the PR Committee at AMA, and also a member of the Governing Council at Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And besides his success in business, Ambar Bhai also believes in supports in training and education in a big way. His philanthropic interests take him a long way to help people around him. Before I introduce Yatindra Bhai, I'll welcome both these gentlemen with a bouquet of flowers on your behalf. We are awaiting Yatindra Bhai, but nonetheless, to continue with the format, I'll introduce him to you, and then he will be here shortly, but we will begin the program. The format is that each one of these gentlemen will speak for about 20 minutes, and at the end there will be a question and answer session. So there will be a mic, so you can just ask the questions, and we'll make it quite informal and make sure your questions are short. It's nice to also see Sushil Bhai and Binaben here, again contributors at AMA, and so many friends and well-wishers. It's a great evening. Before I hand over to Mr. Dastur, I'll introduce Yatindra Bhai Sharma. He's the past president of AMA, currently the managing director of KHS Machinery Private Limited, the majority joint venture of KHS Germany, a world leader in manufacturing, a world leader in manufacturing and marketing of turnkey plants for soft drinks, water, juices, beer, milk, and other food applications. Mr. Sharma is also the Vice President of the DDU Alumni Association, which is engaged in supporting the university in terms of student development and cooperation between industry and academia. That's at Nadiad, the DD Dharamsir Desai University at Nadiad. Apart from winning several awards, Mr. Sharma is affiliated to a number of industry bodies, including CII, AMA, Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Gujarat government. In addition, he is also on the National Council members of All India Management Association and is an advisor to the Gujarat Technological University, faculty at EDI, Nirma University, Ganpati University, BK School of Business Development, LD Engineering College, CPAT, and a mentor to Yatindra Sharma AMA Academy for Vocational Education, where Yatindra Bhai sponsored this center. AMA has got over, I think, about 45 activity centers as on today. And this vocational center where Yatindra Bhai has produced, I've got courses for electrician and bakery and pastries, and I was happy to announce that so many women who have attended this course have become entrepreneurs. So this kind of a center for vocational training has made actually some entrepreneurs. So it's like a live result of this activity. Yatindra Bhai is a chemical engineer and a management graduate with additional degrees from Harvard Business School and Stanford Business School. He's also an associate member of the Institute of Chemical Engineers. And we'll await him. And meantime, I'll request Dastur Sahib to begin. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Now please relax. We are not talking about entrepreneurship, and it is no big deal. If you want to become an entrepreneur, you should have a particular type of mindset. There are 3 ways of earning money: do a job, be a business person, or be an entrepreneur. Job, business person, you can understand. An entrepreneur does not make money for himself. He creates money for the society. He creates wealth for the society. Today he has got 20 people. He is not satisfied. He wants to say that I must have 200, 2,000, 20,000. And to do that, as I said, it is not a rocket science. A few simple, very, very simple principles if you follow, you will be able to be an entrepreneur. First thing we must realize that in our century, it is called a century of any, A-N-Y. It means anyone can come anytime from any place and hurt you anyway. So this is the century of any. People wanted to give a title to 21st century. Eventually the title selected is, it's a century of dynamic stability. Now dynamism is movement and stability is something that does not move. It means that this century, there is only one thing stable in this century, that is change. If you accept that, you've taken the first step. Number 2 is, we must define management properly. Management some years back was defined as a policeman's duty. Every company has rules, regulations, procedures and policies. A manager must guard these policies, and he is a manager. That didn't last long because it was nonsense. Then came management is managing people. Now that also is nonsense, because we cannot manage ourselves. If somebody says, I can manage myself, it's not true. How can you manage 1,000 people if you cannot manage yourself? So today, the definition of management is managing the knowledge of people. Please understand that. You don't have to manage people. It's not possible, impossible. But you can manage the knowledge of people. And if you know how to take the knowledge that is there in the brains of people, if you know how to take it out, you have taken the second step of being an entrepreneur. I can suggest a few things. You can have an anonymous survey. In that survey, you ask people that without writing your name, tell us 3 things that we are not doing but we must start doing. Do it. Many of my students have done it, and they have turned around their company only on this. Okay, tell us 3 things which you are not doing but we must start doing. See what happens. I mean, 80% is trash, but 1, 2, 3, 4, about 20% of the people will give you really what you are not doing but we should start doing it. After some time, do it the other way around. Tell us 3 things we should stop doing, and then see what happens. Your job is only to take out what is there in the cranium of people. In many companies in USA I have seen, there is a vice president, corporate intelligence. There are lots of vice presidents of corporate communication. But here, it's vice president, corporate intelligence. His job is to take out the intelligence, whatever people know. Normally people do not tell us, because there is a virus in all organizations. It is called defensive behavior. People see that there is something wrong going on there, but they will not tell you. The reason is they think that you will be reprimanded, maybe punished, maybe you will be embarrassed. While people who are successful, Bill Gates has written a book, Business at the Speed of Thought. Chapter number 10 starts with, let bad news come to us quickly. People, if you want to be an entrepreneur, this is a rule for you. Anything that is going wrong, you must be informed immediately. You must form a sort of a 3-people committee. They will go all around wherever you are working. They will go to your distributors. They will go to your retailers. They will go to your consumers, customers everywhere and try to find out what is going wrong. And because management, what to do is okay, but what not to do also is very much important. And that is why one thing that you must do is find out something by which the bad news reaches you very, very quickly. Then there is something else. We have to motivate people. Now this motivation is something that is, nobody understands it. There are about 11, 12 theories of motivation. If so many theories are there, it means that the subject is so complicated that every theory says something else. At the end of that, you are more confused than enlightened. So we think that you could be motivated by money. That also is not correct, because priorities differ. Zubeda Ben Bandukwala took her children to zoo. तो zoo में बच्चों ने कहा कि भाई we want to see the antics of monkeys. So when they went to the monkeys cage, monkeys are not there in the cage. So she called the superintendent, old man, कि sir, where are the monkeys? He said, madam जरा side में आ जाइए. धीरे से कहा कि madam, this is the season of breeding for monkeys. They are behind the cage. They are busy making love. So Zubeda Ban said, if I throw them peanuts, will they come out? The old gentleman said, will you? You understand what it is? बस पैसे दे दो काम हो गया. गलत बात है. There are some people who are called NX, N small, ek. They have got the need of achievement. They don't care for your money. They want to achieve. If you get 3, 4 of such people, then you're on your way to success. They don't care for money. They have only one thing. They want to achieve. And for that, those people, you cannot motivate them with money. There are other ways of doing it. The best way of doing it is recruit for talent. Now recruitment karte hain hum log, so even today people ask nonsense questions. What is your father doing? And what is your mother doing? What is your son-in-law doing? And what is your brother-in-law doing? वहाँ तक पहुँच जाते हैं. Why? Go and ask a question to a candidate in America. Are you married? She will take you to court that you are getting personal. You have to do behavioral interview. Because please understand, the biggest source that you have, the biggest resource that you have is human resource. There are 4 pillars on which your enterprise will stand. Profitability, productivity, delighted customers, and effective people. The 4th pillar is the strongest because effective people will give you productivity and profitability and they will delight the customers. So selecting proper people, यहाँ तो ये नहीं हो रहा है. Follow. We do not understand what is a behavioral interview. आप लोगों के पास कंप्यूटर तो हैं, जाइए कंप्यूटर के ऊपर और गूगल से पूछिए behavioral interview questions and they will tell you what questions to ask. The idea is you want the candidate to have a certain behavior in your company. If he has exhibited the same behavior in his previous job, you can take him. I'll give an example. Outstanding is our problem. So you ask him, there is a very good customer, very decent customer, but he pays very late. What shall we do? If that fellow says, stop supplies to him. If that is your policy, that behavior he will bring to you, it's okay with you. But he says, कि थोड़ा थोड़ा माल भी देते जाओ और थोड़ा थोड़ा पैसे भी निकलवाते रहो. If that is what you want to do, then you can take it, otherwise not. In other words, find out what is his behavior in his past job and then find out if that behavior is the behavior you want in your company, then you can take him. That is behavioral interview. And once you take him, you have to retain him. There are lots of people, I have lots of familiar faces here. They always told me that the biggest problem today for an entrepreneur is retaining good people. Retaining good people is difficult. Why? The entrepreneur who is doing a good job has got a three-lettered word called ego. If he doesn't throw out the ego, then he cannot work. I can assure you he will not be able to succeed now. I have been telling people that in your office you must have a window. Window की क्या ज़रूरत है? When you enter the office, open the window, throw out your ego and close the window because ego doesn't have any gravitational property. जाएगा नहीं नीचे, वहाँ ही रहता रहेगा. दरवाजे से अंदर घुस जाएगा वापस. दरवाज़ा बंद कर दो. And effective people are going to do नखराज. वो नखरा करेंगे. तो नखरे भी उठाने पड़ेंगे आपको. Within the limits of only 3 conditions. Don't allow him to do anything that is illegal, antisocial and harmful. ये 3 चीज़ वो नहीं करने देंगे आप. बाकी जो कुछ भी करना है वो करने दो उनको. Follow a very favorite story of mine, which is very popular in America. A new vice president came and he was giving a demonstration of a new product. He was telling that this is a product, what are the competitors, what is the feature, what is the benefit, etc., etc., etc. One person at the end of the class heard him for 2 minutes, drew a chair, put his feet on the chair and went to sleep. Now this vice president's first day, he doesn't know anyone. He said, who is he? So उसका नाम जैक. उठाओ उसको. बोले साहब जब नींद में से उठाते हैं बहुत गाली देता है, आप उठाओ उसको. तो चैलेंज हो गई ना, गए. जैक opened one eye, says, what is it? He said, is it a place to sleep? Are you insulting me? Why are you insulting me? Well, what can I do? Your present roses are absolutely third rate. If our company is going to get vice presidents like you, hey boys, let us find out some other job. Otherwise, what is he going to do to us? Loud and clear. The vice president ran to managing director's office. This fellow has insulted me in front of and throw him out. तो बोले उनकी भी तो सुनो. भाई जैक को बुला के ले आओ. जैक आया ना, नो मे आई कम इन, कुछ भी नहीं, लात मार के अंदर. स्टूड इन फ्रंट. हाँ, वो भी कह दिया कि इफ आई वॉट एवर आई सेड यू डू नॉट लाइक इट, एक जमाल गोटा का जुलाब ले लो. कैसे ईगो निकल जाएगा. जमाल गोटा का जुलाब इज गिवन टू एनिमल्स इफ यू डू नॉट नो अबाउट इट. गए एमडी के पास कि साहब मुझे गाली दी और कहा कि जमाल गोटा का जुलाब ले लो, निकालो उसको. बोले सुनो तो सही. बुलाया. डिड यू टेल हिम दिस? टू CMD says yes. And if you don't like it, you can shit in your hat. American gali hai that you are such a third class person. To shit, you don't have to go to a toilet. You can shit in your hat. That fellow the vice president nearly fainted. बोले यार आपको भी बोल गया कम वक्त, निकालो उसको. इधर आओ. ग्राफ बने थे सब लोगों के. Jack का graph was not like this. Jack का graph was going straight up. 35% increase every month, which means every 2.5 months, sale will double. 2 लाख का, 4 लाख का, 8 लाख का, 16 लाख का, 32 लाख हो जाता है. He showed it and said, कि Mr. Vice President, do one thing. बाजार में जाओ, आपके लिए जुलाब गोटा का, जमाल गोटा का जुलाब ले आओ. I already have a hat. You understand? If that is not your mindset, be a businessman, don't do entrepreneurship. अच्छा आदमी रिटेन करो तो समझो कुछ गलत काम नहीं करेंगे वो. He will not break a law. He will not harm the society. If नखरे करते हैं ना तो उठाने पड़ेंगे. अगर आप नहीं उठाओगे तो you will not be an entrepreneur. Then another thing, देखता हूँ रिक्रूट करते हो ना तो managers are so much insecure that they will always recruit person who has got a lesser talent than him. उन लोगों के लिए management guru has made a big, it's called, I don't know why it's called Russian doll. It's a big doll. When you open it, a smaller doll comes out of it. Open it, still a smaller doll comes out of it. The message is, if you take people who are lower in talent than you, slowly your company is going to be a company of dwarfs. And that is why what you should do is, take people who are better than you, then only you will be able to go up. Once again, you do not do it because ego. Another thing that I have seen in Gujarat, very nice man, ले लो. 30,000 देना पड़ेगा. अरे 30,000 क्यों दूँ, 10,000 में तो मारी પાસે 3 જણા આવે છે. 10,000 વાળા 3 ના લઈ આવ. અમારા સુરતમાં there was a family, બિઝનેસમેનનું ફેમિલી. છોકરો 30 વર્ષનો થયો. At the age of 30 they called a Brahmin કે ભાઈ આ છોકરાને લગ્ન કરવા છે તો એક 24 વર્ષની છોકરી શોધી લાવો ને. બરાબર, તો મારા જ લઈ આવ્યા. 12 વર્ષની 2 છોકરી લઈ આવ્યા. બરાબર, 24ની એક નહીં મળી કે 12ની 2 છે. જોયું તમને? We do this and then we call ourselves entrepreneurs. That is nonsense. Follow? A good man is very difficult to retain and he has his own price. Do it the other way around. If he says 30,000, you tell him, no, I will not give you 30,000, I will give you 35,000. अभी ठीक से काम कर. 3 महीने के बाद let us see. If you are not worth 35,000, I'll throw you out. And you will find out that he is worth 40,000. मगर करने के लिए कोई तैयार नहीं है. क्यों? पैसे जल्दी हाथ में से निकलते नहीं हैं. तो एंटरप्रेन्योर करना है ना, तो यू आर क्रिएटिंग वेल्थ फॉर द सोसाइटी एंड फॉर दैट यू विल ऑल्सो एटलीस्ट कॉम्प्रोमाइज अ लिटिल हियर एंड देयर विथ योर वेल्थ. देन देर इज अनदर थिंग कि जो अच्छा आदमी होता है ना, आपका ईगो फेंक दो, बट his ego, if you can boost it up in the right manner, you will see what happens. Seniors here who have seen pre-independent days, they know that the railways at that time, there were 2 main railways, BBCI, Bombay, Baroda and Central India Railway, and GIP, Great Indian Peninsular Railway. BBCI has become Western Railway, GIP has become Central Railway. Now both these companies were running steam engines. Supplier was the same company, but BBCI had very much less breakdowns of the engines. GIP had 10 times more breakdowns. Nobody would understand कि सर्विस बराबर है, मेंटेनेंस बराबर है, मगर BBCI में breakdowns are less. The reason was, I've seen it, BBCI engine में आगे और साइड पे ड्राइवर का नाम लिखा होता है, के नरीमान, आगे के नरीमान, साइड पे के नरीमान. That means के नरीमान is the owner of this engine. And when something goes wrong, it is not said that engine number 72 has gone wrong. K Nariman's engine has failed. K Nariman का कचरा हो गया. Follow? Do it. If you have a factory, जो आपका मशीन चलाता है ना, उसका नाम लिख दो. See what happens? I am doing it and with great success. Then people will not say, "Haru મરચાનું મશીન બગડી ગયું." મરચાનું મશીન નથી બગડ્યું, કાંતિભાઈનું મશીન બગડી ગયું. કે કાંતિભાઈનું મશીન ચાલતું નહીં, કાંતિભાઈનો કચરો થઈ ગયો. કેન્ટીનમાં ક્યારે કોંતીભાઈ મશીન ચલાવતા નહીં આવડતું, તારું કેમ મશીન બગડ કરે છે? મશીન છે ને એનો એ માલિક છે, એ તમારે કરવું પડશે. As I said, there are very simple things that you have to do and you will be able to succeed. एक दूसरी भी चीज़ है. Some entrepreneurs think that they should be popular with the staff. They think if you are popular, then everything goes well. Now that also is wrong. If there is a mistake, that mistake must be corrected immediately. Otherwise, you know what happens? एक शहजादी है, पुराने ज़माने की स्टोरी है, अरेबियन. एक शहजादी है, बाप की एक पूरी लड़की है, तो she has got very dirty language, very dirty behavior. Nobody wants to marry her. But somebody came from a foreign country who did not know anything about her. तो राजा ने उसको बोले, marry my daughter. That fellow was so glad. लोगों ने कहा कि भाई लड़की बहुत बुरी है, भाग जा. बोले देखेंगे. समझे? बारात निकली, घोड़े के ऊपर बैठा हुआ है. घोड़ा तो अरबी घोड़ा है. हाँ, सो नखरा करेगा थोड़ा बहुत. ऊपर से वो दामाद ने कहा कि राजा का दामाद तेरे के ऊपर सवार है, कम वक्त नखरा क्यों करता है? तलवार निकाल के घोड़े को काट दिया. फॉलो. रीच्ड होम. सियामीज बिल्ली प्रिंसेस की, प्रिंसेस को देख के मियाँ 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 करती आई उनके पास. दामाद ने कहा कि यार मुझे तो मियाँ करेगी कम वक्त. एक लात मारी ना, तो बिल्ली गई बारी के बाहर, किसी के छत पे पड़ी और शी डाइड. दैट फेलो सेट ऑन द चेयर, ड्रीव हिज लेग फॉरवर्ड एंड टोल्ड द वाइफ, जूते उतारो. नाउ शी हैज सीन कि कम वक्त काट ही देता है, और बिल्ली मार दी. बैठ गई नीचे जूते उतारने के लिए. सारी दुनिया को खबर पड़ गई कि इफ़ यू किल द कैट, बीवी हाथ में आ जाती है. समझे? सो समबडी जो मेरे जैसा होगा, कम वक्त 60 साल के चांटा खाने वाला होगा कोई, घर जाके बिल्ली को लात मारी. बीबी ने चांटा मार के कहा कि मियाँ बिल्ली पहली रात मारी जाती है, 20 साल के बाद नहीं. You understand that this is this is what you have to do. Then one more thing, हम लोग जब एंटरप्रेन्योर बनते हैं ना, then we give more attention to weak people. That is wrong. You have to reinforce the behavior of a person who is better than the other one. वो तो नहीं करते हैं, समझे? तो फिर हमारा रुस्तम जी सोडा वाटर बॉटल वाला हैं, बैठे हैं on the breakfast table, reading a newspaper. Wife is making tea at the opposite hand. Suddenly wife says, "Ke Rustam, you have not told me I love you since quite some time." So Rustam ji says, "Ke when I got married, the day we got married, मैंने कहा I love you. If there is any change, I will let you know." ये नहीं चलेगा यहाँ. A good person has got to be reinforced कि भाई तुम अच्छा काम कर रहे हो. And then the last thing, you will have to be a learning organization. Many people ask us questions. Okay, what is the competitive advantage? Some people say a delighted customer is a competitive advantage. Some people say quality is a competitive advantage. Not wrong. But in today's century, the only competitive advantage is to learn faster than your competitor. If your competitor learns faster than you, you are in trouble. Follow? मैंने बहुत देखा है कि दस्तूरी बाजू में कोई आया है मेरे पास, आई हैव गॉट 5 इंपोर्टेड मशीन, वो कहीं चाइनीज मशीन लेके आई, वांट्स टू कॉम्पीट विद मी. अरे आई हैव गॉट मोर प्यून्स देन व्हाट ही हैज़. तो मैं कहता हूँ उनसे संभालो, उनके पास पैसे नहीं है ना, तो क्रिएटिव होगा, ये कभी तुमको हैरान करेगा. ही विल लर्न फास्टर देन यू. 10 साल के बाद दैट फेलो टेक्स इट अवे. फॉर सच पीपल मेरे पास एक गाड़ी में अभी भी पड़ी हुई है गुलशन कुमार की एक सीढ़ी है, कव्वाली है अंदर, बोल है, मेरी आंखों से नींद अनजान हो गई जब से मेरी पड़ोसन जवान हो गई. समझे? ये जो पड़ोसन जो है ना चाइनीज मशीन वाली, क्रिएटिवली कब जवान हो जाएगी ना बस, तो तुम्हारा कोई भी नहीं रखने वाला है. फॉलो? सो एज आई सेड कि इट इज़ नॉट अ रॉकेट साइंस. There are certain principles that you have got to observe. There is a book that has been given to you. This book is a book of questions. Answer नहीं है अंदर, सिर्फ questions हैं. वो questions के answer आप ढूंढ लोगे, because you got to ask a right question. For example, you dare not ask a question, what do I do? No. What I want to do? No. The question is, what needs to be done is the question. Where do I get resources from is not a question. Question is, whatever resources I have, how can I maximize those? So, a few things here and there. Question and answer के साथ मुझे अभी आप पूछते हैं तो पूछ लो. Thank you very much. God bless you.
As usual, he was, I would say, betting fast, but betting smoothly. Always evergreen, ever smiling. Thank you, Dastur Saab. And as I said, all these gentlemen today are not guests, but part of the AMA family, active members. And next we'll have in sequence is Amber Bhai. They'll be sharing their perspectives of entrepreneurship and also sharing their personal journey. But before I invite Amber Bhai, I'll welcome Yatinder Bhai with a bouquet of flowers. Amber Bhai, please. Yatin Bhai just wants to settle, so you can have it first. As I said, 15-20 minutes, and then please. Okay.
Good evening, friends. The entrepreneurs on the dais and off the dais. I think most of them are the entrepreneurs to whom I know him. The subject is what makes a successful entrepreneur. When I started from the school and the college, it was my dream to start my own industry. So I think that is the very important thing in the life, that you decide about your goal. And that was my aim, and that is my success in my life. I started as a junior engineer in one engineering company, Anup Engineering. I was in the machine shop supervisor and worked for 3 shifts. Every month I have to change the shift. And that was a very good experience for my life, how to tackle the manpower. Dastur Sahab very rightly told that to maintain the manpower, how to retain the manpower, and how to take the work from the manpower is very, very important. And that was my initial learning from Anup Engineering. Over a period of time, I joined with the Stovek Industries. That was my second experience with a multinational company. And there I worked in the shop floor, as well as over a period of time, I was transferred to the marketing. During that time, I attended one small course of marketing under the leadership of Yatindra Bhai. Yatindra Bhai, you know him. And he taught us the very good marketing, how to do the marketing. And traveling was my hobby. So I traveled throughout the India and understand that what are the needs of the market. During my job, I learned that what is the gravure cylinder. So I only focus on the one product, that gravure cylinder, how to make it, how to market it all over the India. In 1989, we started a small company, Shilp Gravures, as a partnership firm. And there we were the only 4 partners and 1 helper. So, આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કહીએ ને દાઢીની દાઢી ને સાવેણીની સાવેણી. So, we were the sweeper, we were the peons, we were the turner operator, and everything we were. Even when we make the invoice of our cylinder, we make it on the typewriter. There was no computer. So I don't know the typing. So to find out the each and every letter, and gradually we learn the typing. No mobile phone, no car, only 2-wheeler was there. No fax machine, no email, nothing. And we started the small small factory to make the cylinders. But that was not my target. That technology, what we started, it was a very old technology in India. So we go through a number of different magazines and other things and find out that electronic engraving is a latest technology available in the world. So we visited different exhibitions, and in those exhibitions, we met a different machinery suppliers who were supplying the machineries for making the electronic engraving cylinders. So my first experience was to go to Delhi and attended one plastic exhibition. There was one British supplier, Mr. John was there. I asked Mr. John that I want to purchase a small machine for the proofing of the cylinders. So his first question was, Mr. Patel, how did you came from Ahmedabad? I told that by second-class train. Oh, why not by plane? Sorry, Mr. John, I don't have the money to fly on the plane. Then how you will purchase my machine? What is your turnover? I told that my turnover is only 36 lakhs. He told that this is the one of the machines what you are looking for the project. And that machine was costing nearly 70 lakhs. He told that, how you will purchase this machine? I told that, Mr. John, you want to sell the machines. How to pay is my problem. I am a Patel, I am a Gujarati. And you know that Gujaratis are all the entrepreneurs. So you don't worry. So he was so pleased that he invited me to Manchester to see his factory. He paid for my hotel bills. And in those days, money was very important for us to save each and every money. And so that is why we became the friend. He allowed us to visit the number of different units. What was my dream for the India to start the electronic engraving. So gradually in 93, 94, we incorporated a public limited company under the name Shilp Gravius Limited, and started with one engraving machine. And that was that was not my dream. My dream was to become the number one in India. So we were the first in India to start the cylinder engraving with electronic engraving. When we make the factory, it was a space for the 4 engraving machines. So every alternate year we added the machines. Again, these 4 machines, the space was occupied. We built up a new adjoining factory with a 12 engraving machines capacity. Again, that is already finished. Then again we added 3 machines. Then now 15 machines are there. So as on today, we are the largest cylinder suppliers in India. And the electronic engraving, we were the first in India to introduce it. So this is how the journey started. So starting from 4 persons in a small partnership firm, today we are 450 persons. And Mr. Dastur rightly told that entrepreneur is working for the others, not for themselves. So I am happy that we are feeding 450 families in the city. Everybody is happy with us, and almost more than 25-30 persons are working with me since last 28 years. So again, what Dastur Sahab told, that how to retain the manpower. So that is another success for me. We have retained the manpower who are very good, that we are retaining. Even after the retirement, there are 4 or 5 persons are working with me since last 5-6 years after the retirement. So this is how we retain the manpower. I will just show a small video of my factory started in 1989 and what we are today. So this is my first factory, and that is my office with a roof. And there was only 1 table and 1 chair. And we were 4 partners. So compulsory 3 partners has to work in the factory. This is the back side of the factory. This is a very old camera. Nowadays everything is done on the computer. This is totally out of the market. We have 4 partners with some other colleagues.
Nurturing a vision. Engraving life in it. Applying faith. And materializing the dream. We are dedicated to a goal far beyond printing. We are Shilp, translating visions into reality. A pioneering initiative, Shilp was conceived as a first step towards revolutionizing gravure printing technology in India. Over the years, we have developed the most advanced roller processing machinery under one roof. At Shilp, perfection is not a process, it's where we begin. A systematized prefabricating process transforms each and every roller into an epitome of perfection. Shilp has a high-tech pre-press shop with latest software and hardware to translate the design vision as exactly as possible. Digital proofing facility to exemplify indistinguishable precision beforehand. Expanding our sphere of expertise, we have developed a full-service pre-press shop for Flexo. This helps us to provide superior, practical and cost-effective solutions to all our customers' pre-press needs. Quality of the foundation determines the life of a structure. Hence, Shilp is equipped with world-class copper plating and polishing technology, which forms the basis of its excellence. Comprehensive, round-the-clock quality checks are subjected at every step of the manufacturing. Shilp has engraved its niche by introducing and adopting advanced technology that defines industry standards. The futuristic digital laser engraving technology at Shilp enables better registration, higher contrast quality and impeccable precision. Our rollers are coated with hard chrome plating, a protective shield which develops high corrosion resistance and prolonged life. State-of-the-art proofing technology at Shilp helps create a precise sample of the actual production result, a true reflection of the vision to be materialized. Our expertise speaks for itself as we supply quality products to international customers. Over the years, Shilp has achieved significant technological milestones, but they are not our most valued achievements. Beyond our technological expertise, beyond our infrastructural development, beyond our versatile growth, we are actually proud to play an integral role in the businesses we help flourish, industries we help develop, visions we help materialize. Shilp, translating vision into reality.
So you can see that once you have a dream, it will be successful, and you have to work hard. You have to learn how to take the work from the right people at the right time. And Dastur Sahab clearly told that you have to pay for that. You should not go away with the salary that he will get so and so, I will get 10,000 na 3 મળશે. Salary is also very important to give, because otherwise how he will survive? He will go with the other factories. So this is how my success story is there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambarbai, for sharing your success story. And as I said, these gentlemen are sharing their views of entrepreneurship in a different way. And I mentioned about AMS activity centers, even Yatindra Bai Center. And you've been given this booklet about Mr. PVRN Iyer in his tributes we are paying today. And he has instrumental in setting 4 such initiatives. Mr. PVRN Iyer first set up a corpus where giving loans to management students from Gujarat University. He then set up, in his memory of his late wife, Dr. Lalita Iyer, a center for, Dr. Lalita Iyer AMS Center for Development of Women. And then he set up the PVRN Iyer Research Initiative, where we conduct workshops on research and all that. And he also initiated an AMA Past Presidents School of Grooming with an initial corpus, and other past presidents contributed. So it is great entrepreneurs always give back to society, not only in money, but in terms of the time. I mentioned he used to come to so many functions and play an active role in it. So that's about it. And we carry further, and I request Yatindra Bai to share his views and his journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Divesh. Mr. Dastur, my friend Ambar, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed pleasure to be with all of you because it is more like a family event and you are asking me to share something which all of you more or less know about me. But I think it would be kind of a time journey for me, which I will share in terms of anecdotes, because basically entrepreneurial journey, unless you become successful, it is always said that success has all fathers, failure has no mother. So the point is that while talking about entrepreneurship, see, this country needs entrepreneurship very badly. Today, we have a Prime Minister who has got an entrepreneurial streak to venture into the most difficult things and make it happen. But it is more of a social engineering. But if you look at the kind of landscape what we are into, today to generate meaningful employment is the biggest challenge for this country. This country is going to be the young country, the youngest country in the world. Every year, maybe 1 crore or more young boys and girls, they will get into job market. And today, if we want to provide meaningful jobs, it is not possible on behalf of government to provide such employment. The classic example of providing employment to all is a country like Greece, where you know very well what kind of financial crisis they got into. So friends, entrepreneurship for me is a sacred thing. It is not that to shine into newspaper headlines and give television interviews and move into swanky cars and kind of things. But it is much more deeper call within. And this was very much endorsed by Narayan Murthy. While we had Professor Jaju's activity center inauguration, I had deliberately asked him this question, that Mr. Narayan Murthy, being an entrepreneur, what is the biggest challenge? And his answer was very, very cryptic. Look, entrepreneurship is not a sexy thing. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to decide what to leave with a cause in your mind and a target in your mind. Unless you have this, it is not a 9-to-5 job. If you love golf, if you love watching movies, if you love socializing, don't get into entrepreneurship. It's a serious business. These were the words of Mr. Narayan Murthy. Now, if I look at myself maybe 30 years or 40 years back, what was my calling? So I had two things very clear in my mind. One is that if the success is defined as an equation, that if success is A, then it is X plus Y plus Z. X, work very hard. Y, play very hard. Z, keep your mouth shut. Don't brag about it. Second thing, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to be a champion. Champion in what you want to do. Likewise, what Ambar said, I am happy that he learned marketing from me, but he went beyond marketing. But the point is that you have to be champion. And champions are not made in gyms. Otherwise, everybody going to gym will be a champion. It has to have deep within a desire, a vision, and a dream. Three things. And deep, totally deep. And you have to have skill and will. But the point is that the will has to be much stronger than skill, because skill is never given on a platter to you. You have to acquire it. So your will to get skill has to be much more stronger than your skill. Then you can take a call of being entrepreneur. These are the two things which were very clear in my mind. Third thing, which I always believed, and even I believe today in my organization, that you have to have a couple of elements within you. First is imagination. Imagination is much more powerful than knowledge. Unless you have imagination, you don't get the spark within. So imagination is important. The moment you get the spark, you have to have focus. You have to focus on that spark. The moment you focus on that spark, you have to persevere. Because sometimes success is a matter of just hanging on. And that's the fact of life, in lives of scientists, in lives of champions. You look at, tennis players, the way in which they fight, the game between McEnroe and, Bjorn Borg, or even earlier, Jimmy Connors. They used to fight for every point. And sometimes it looks like that man is gone, and he rises like a phoenix from ashes. So hang on, perseverance. With all that, action. Unless you have action, which is backed by decision, action doesn't happen without decision making. And all that you do has to bring you joy. It should not become a drag. It should be a joyful journey. You must enjoy it. Even if you fail, you enjoy it. If you succeed, you enjoy it. So these were a couple of things which were in my mind right from beginning. I used to write my own diary, which I wrote, which I still have today. I have now stopped writing diary because computers are there. So maybe I make some small notes on computer, but those were the days of writing diary. So I wrote in my diary that I want to be master of my own destiny, and I want to make difference in lives of others. These were the two things in my mind, very clear. But the point was that my family never supported me entrepreneurship right in the beginning. My father was he retired as a college principal, and a very, very upright person. He used to teach students but never ask for tuition money, never ever. Very honest, he was running a college with 900 girls, and out of 900, 600 girls were studying in that college free, because he used to get that kind of money donation from donors. So for me, entrepreneurship was like running in a wild. So I decided that let me start with my professional career. And now I will cite some of the anecdotes that how I built up myself. In my very first job, it was with Birlas in Porbandar. I was in production, and we had a guy on name of Keshubha. He was a Karwa, and he had a murder case on him. Nobody ever dared to ask him to do any job. He used to come with a bedding, newspaper, tiffin. He used to sit in a corner, enjoy his lunch or dinner or whatever it is, go back home, get his salary. Nobody was able to question him. Nobody was able to even ask him to do something. And my biggest achievement in that career was that I made Keshubha work with me. The best part was that he was technically very, very sound, but nobody had appreciation of that. And my relationship started with him appreciating his knowledge. We were in a shaft kiln which was about 500 feet tall, where the lime was being burnt. And the lime used to be unloaded from the top. It used to go from the bottom, unloaded, and then it used to be burnt. It was a continuous process plant. But by the sound, you could tell that there is something problematic in the closing of the lid of the lime kiln, or there is something wrong with the bucket which is unloading. Used to sit down in the control room and tell. And that I picked up like that. And the best part was when I left that company, he invited me at his home for lunch. And he said that I am a total non-vegetarian. I know that you are a vegetarian. I have got a special Maharaj for you to cook vegetarian food. So please come and have lunch with me. I think that was the biggest compliment by somebody who was considered to be an outcast in that organization. So from there, I moved into Mafatlal Group in Mumbai. Parallelly, I started doing my MBA with Jamnalal Bajaj Institute. It was an executive MBA. There the challenge I took up to give the highest production in my shift. And I did it non-stop, 120 days, where my shift was producing highest tonnage of chemicals in that plant. And if you know continuous process plant, any stoppage in a continuous process plant is a nightmare. And I could only run that plant with practically no stoppages. And the people used to sleep in night shift. They used to sit with me in control room, sing songs, have snacks, move around. We used to work on different projects, and we made it happen. So that was my achievement in a production. Then I got into projects, and I started working into different areas of Mafatlal Group industry house. But then I decided that no, that is enough. I want to be in marketing. So that is the only area where you can prove yourself on paper. In any given organization, if you are in a line function, not much of acknowledgement. If you are in a supportive function, again, you have to be very near to the boss. That is the biggest qualification what you have to get. Likewise, in MNC firms, it was always said that in a top management cadre, you have to be at the right side. Otherwise, you cannot continue in that organization, and that is still valid today. So I got into marketing, and that also technical application sales. And the first challenge was to crack a big account for our American oil company was Telco. Telco was a company which was not doing business with any foreign MNC. They used to buy their products from public sector oil companies. And the challenge which I took up, that was developing a special engine oil and a very special product which I developed myself, did the field trials, everything, and we got entry into Telco in 3 months. So that again gave me satisfaction that yes, I can be a champion because I am doing something which others are not able to do it. So with that, my last professional assignment was with Cadila Group, their machinery division, where it was being said that they have got a 3-year pending order. Dastur Sahib, I am talking about Cadmec machinery. 3-year pending orders, always in demand. And believe me, I finished that pending order book in 5 months. As a marketing head. And the best part was that in 11 months, we did 2.5 times turnover than the earlier year. So that gave me the confidence that if I focus on anything, I can achieve. After that, I got into machinery, so I got into plastic machinery, and I got my future mentor, where I worked professionally for a while with him. But then he decided to divest from that company, and one fine evening we sat with each other, and he brought me a small note with me that Yatindra, if you want to be an entrepreneur, here is an MOU between you and me. Would you like to do it? And that was a godsend opportunity. I mean, that was also an acknowledgement of my capability to perform certain tasks outstandingly. You all know it is Mr. Mahendra Patel, and since then we have tried out number of projects together. The first project was a very specialized rubber injection molding machines for auto industry, consumer durables, all kinds of industrial components. And the best part was that this project was given to me by Mahendra Bhai, and he told me, this DESMA project you will start as a company. Now this DESMA division was there in Klockner Windsor. It was considered to be a non-starter. Company invested more than 10 crores capital investment in those days. I am talking about 93. And it was not a successful project. And he gave me the same team which was working with that project as an entrepreneur. Think about it. I took up that challenge. And the first order as a marketing man, for almost 10 months, we had no technology transfer. So we designed a strategy to sell expensive German machines. Just to give you an idea, that if a local machine is 100 points, the German machine was 300 points. Just think of it. And we did sell. And the best part was that after that, we started marketing of our technology in a big way. And the first order, which I still remember, which I took it for 20 machines in one go, with a Delhi-based company, Watco Schlegel, which had a collaboration with a British auto component company. And these 20 machines which I picked up, I gave him 3 machines at a cost of 30 lakhs. But balance 17 machines were sold at 35 lakhs each. Just think of it. And that I could bring in my all creative genius, and I told him that, look, these 3 machines I am just giving you for the trial, but my machine value is much more, and I can prove it. I can prove it in terms of productivity, I can prove it in terms of maintenance cost, total cost of ownership, everything. So he gave me an equation that, okay, I buy these 3 machines on 30 lakhs, but you have to prove all this. If you prove, you get 35 lakhs. Otherwise, I will buy on 30 lakhs. And we did prove. And that gave me immense satisfaction. The best part was that after that, we delivered one locally developed equipment just by the side of German machine. And that became our biggest marketing tool. Because any customer coming to us, we used to take them over there and tell them that you identify out of these 2 machines, which is an Indian machine and which is a German machine. If you identify correctly, we'll give you 5% discount. Otherwise, you will pay me my price, what I tell you. And believe me, 9 out of 10 times, we got right. Customer could not identify a German and Indian machine. That was the quality of machine. Today, that company is a small company, but extremely successful company that is doing around 80 crores worth business. The second project was much more bigger, much more challenging. And this project was given to us because we had a long relationship with Klockner. Klockner went to L&T, and this was for food and beverage sector. Turnkey projects, which are similar to Tetra Pak or L&T. These are all EPC, engineer, produce, construct. These are not simple machines what you sell. It's a project business. You have to conceive the tailor-made project. You have to take all responsibilities. And then you have to execute And while you execute, the balance 10% of the project value can be 50 crore, 20 crore, 30 crore, kind of big projects. So just think of 10% with customer, and if you don't perform well, then all your profit is gone. And we took up this challenge in a way. I will give you a very interesting anecdote. We started this project, and I was still operating that project from my earlier Desma plant. We had no manufacturing facility, but we could convince Coca-Cola that yes, we can do. They came, their entire management team was in Ahmedabad, they saw everything. And believe me, I mean, it was a kind of eureka moment for us that we got a project from them, 15 crores, one go. So we started with that. But then the equation was that Mahendra Bhai had another project which was going on in that factory. The new factory for that project was being built. They were to vacate that plant in June, and I was to enter in by June end to start my manufacturing. And the best part was that that never happened. We were stretched right up to September. I had to deliver my first project on December end. But anyway, it was a turnkey project, so we were doing a lot of things through our vendors. The biggest challenge we took up, that was 100% outsourcing. No in-house manufacturing, because we had no capital cost to invest. So at that point of time, the entire team from Coca-Cola wanted to visit and audit the progress of our project manufacturing. And 3 days before I had that vacant place, which I got it. It was empty hall, nothing inside, not even a single chair. In one room there was one table and 2 chairs. And we received with a nice, placard, welcome, welcome, everything fine. But when they entered, there were about 8 people, and there was not even enough chairs to sit. And they saw the place and they were totally flabbergasted. And that was the big challenge to convince them that yes, we can do. Now this challenge, I still remember their technical head, global, Mr. Peter Ediman. He was a sharp fellow. So he told me, look, Mr. Sharma, whatever you are saying, I admire your enthusiasm. I also admire your commitment, but I think it is not going to happen. So it was just, touching your raw nerve. So I told him, well, Mr. Peter Ediman, on looks of it, what you are saying, anybody will say like that. But I can prove it, and I can prove it to the dot. So he said, well, the first project is Goa, and you were to deliver after 31st of December, right? I want this project to be brought forward by 15 days. Your delivery should be 15th December. That was another blow. Think of a guy who is there for 3 days in that vacant plant, and somebody is telling you that you bring it forward 15 days. Well, I said, yeah, I will do it. How can you do it? I answered to him, Mr. Ediman, beyond everything, there is something like individual credibility. And I am putting my credibility to the test. You have got nothing to lose. I have already stuck out my neck. If I do it, I fulfill your need. If I don't do it, you can chop my head. It's very clear. So he said, well, Mr. Sharma, let's make it a game. If you do it, you owe me a bottle of scotch. And if you don't do it, you know very well what I'm going to do. I said, yes, we will do it. And the way in which we went in execution 24/7, believe me, the first equipment was on truck on 15th of December. And I still remember that was birthday of my son Aditya, and we celebrated his birthday in the plant where Aditya was very small, and he climbed on one big equipment 5 meter high, and he was asking me, what is all this? So that was the celebration for my son. I didn't see day or night, but we made it happen. And the best part was that Peter forgot about it, but then he met us at one of the show in Munich. I told him, Peter, you are missing something which you committed. Well, what? Well, you promised me a bottle of scotch. And let me tell you, I don't drink alcohol. But I can give it to my partner, Mahendra Bhai. Mahendra Bhai was with me. Yeah, I will enjoy it. Where is your bottle? And he said profusely, sorry, I forgot it. You owe it, definitely. I will send it to you. And a blue label Johnny Walker bottle was sent to my office, which somebody from Coca-Cola Gobelets plant came and delivered, which I gave it to Mahendra Bhai, which became kind of a souvenir. Now with that drive, we believed in our people. Our policy of organization is people first, customer second. I backed my people before customer. Just think of a business where somebody is much more powerful than you. You are dealing with companies which have billions of dollars, which are not small. They can buy you overnight. Even my German company they can buy. They have that kind of muscle power. If you talk of Nestle, you talk of Heineken, you talk of Carlsberg, you talk of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Unilever, these are all big organizations. But we believed in this principle, and there have been many such incidences where we have supported our own people first and having full confidence in them and how people grow. Dastoor Sahab has said so many things, but only one thing which any worker on the shop floor, any individual in your team, is the trust from the topmost leader in the most transparent and motivating manner. He will do wonders for you, I can tell you for sure. I can give you a couple of examples. One of my boys, he started with me as a data entry operator. He was doing his commerce. We used to chat because that was the beginning of the project. So he used to say, I want to be a finance manager. So I told him, with this you cannot be. No, I am willing to work hard. So I told him, yes, I am quite okay with you. But the point is that you have to learn your job very fast. So he said, give me whatever you want, I will do it. So I told him, look, you will continue your studies, you will do your BCom, MCom, you can take time out for your studies, which I will allow you, and do your education. With that little support, today this boy has won 2 times a national competition of next best CFO of the year. I'll talk about my own finance manager, highly qualified chartered accountant, advisor to Ruchi Group, working in Mumbai. One day he landed in my office and he said, I want to work with you. I said, I cannot afford you. We are a small company. You are a chartered accountant. Maybe 3 years down the line, I will go for a chartered accountant, I will go for MBAs, but right now I am not in a position. No, I want to work with you because I heard a lot about you. So I told him, I cannot give you the salary. I mean, in Mumbai, you must be getting anywhere around 70,000, 80,000 rupees. This was somewhere in 97, 98 I am talking about. He told me, give me salary what you want. So I thought that, okay, let me tell something which he will say no and I am getting rid of it. So I told him, I will give you 11,000 rupees a month and 1 scooter to drive. Beyond that, I cannot do anything. My God, he picked it up. Today he is my CFO, right from that day onwards. And the best part is that he has won CFO of the year 3 times. And that also for cost control and cost reduction. I'm talking of my own personal office assistant, simply a BA graduate. The kind of trust which I pushed her to come to AMA, do some courses, everything. Today, she has cleared her CS and she is my company secretary. There are many such examples in my organization. So the point is, whatever you do, be real. If you have a nasty temperament, let it be known to people. I mean, nothing wrong, but you don't mean it, then it is fine. But if you mean it, then people are sharp enough to make a difference between good or bad. So the point is, how do you differentiate your individuality as a top leader? As per me, there are 2 things which are important with any individual. One is work relationship, second one is individual relationship. Work relationship, never ever compromise. No fiefdoms, simply accountability and performance. Look at it, and look at it in the most impartial, objective way. Second is individual relationship, and have the best individual relationship. Everybody knows in my organization to come and meet me, they don't need an appointment. They can call me up or they can simply come into my office, discuss. And the best part is that every employee of mine knows very well that if he is in individual trouble, he can even call me at midnight. And that complete credo has gone into my entire team. I will cite you a small example. One of our young engineers, he was going along with another engineer in Vatwa GIDC, and this Chakradawala, he literally dashed his auto rickshaw and he had a serious head injury. In 10 minutes, 4 people from my company, they were on job. The boy was taken to Siddhivinayak for preliminary treatment. I got a call that he has got a head injury. I told him, get him into Jairus Hospital immediately and ask the doctor what is to be done. If he has to be operated, let him be operated. And the best part was that in next 3 hours, this boy was operated, cleared and saved. And this was done by my boys. I mean, that gives me the biggest satisfaction as a leader. What I believe, my team believes. So that is a Spartacus belief. A story of Spartacus which I will end now. Spartacus was the slave, but he was a very, very powerful warrior against the Greeks. And he was caught along with the group of slaves on a ship. If you have seen that movie, that is the best scene of the movie, where the general, opponent says that let Spartacus come forward and surrender, we will not do anything to anybody. With maybe a minute silence, one hand rose, I am Spartacus. Very next moment, second, third, fourth, entire group, I am Spartacus. So that's what I believe, make difference in lives of others. At the same time, enjoy your journey. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful sharing. We have now about a little more than 10 minutes if you want to ask questions. Thank you very much, Yatindra Bhai, for sharing that journey. And you see that each one of these individuals, I'll call them family members, have shared their insight into this wonderful topic. And Yatindra Bhai mentioned Spartacus. Those youngsters who have not seen this movie, they should see it. Today you've got YouTube. We never had it in our days. You can see that. So, and any questions or anybody senior who are there want to share something very quickly for a minute, please. Yeah, very quickly, please. Don't take, yeah. And Govind, Mr. Govind would also like to share his thoughts. So after the question answer, Govind will do that. Yeah.
Question for Dasturji. Can we know your sir, your commitment regarding why the Indian industrialists are not have success with the comparison of China, Germany and other foreign countries? Can we know your commitment, sir? Thank you.
I could not get you, please.
તો સાહેબ મારું કહેવાનું એમ છે કે ભારતના ઉદ્યોગપતિઓ જર્મની ઇટાલી અને પરદેશના બીજા ઉદ્યોગપતિઓની સાથ કમ્પેરિઝનમાં આગળ નથી આવી શકતા એ બાબત આપના કાંઈ ટીકા ટિપ્પણ ખરું અને આપના માટે સાહેબ અમર પટેલ સાહેબ તમારા માટે એક ક્વેશ્ચન એ છે શૂન્યમાંથી સર્જન કરવા બદલ અભિનંદન આપ એક્સપોર્ટ કરો જ કે કેમ
I don't agree कि अपना we are any way lower than a German person or a Japanese person. खोटी बात છે. If you go to America and look at the list of CEOs, the list has about 80% of CEOs of Indian origin. Follow? The only problem here is that the whole atmosphere, the whole environment needs a little change. That's all. The change is that we must understand that it is the people who are working for you and they are to be trained, they are to be well paid, and then they are to be set free to do whatever they want. The problem here is a little tight control. Otherwise, I don't agree that we are inferior. No, we are okay with anybody.
So far as the export is concerned, we are doing very little export. Our major market is in India because gravure technology is very well accepted in India compared to the Europe and America.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I am CL Abdisha. Actually, I want to ask one experience that I have been gone through. I am practicing CA and now I want to start a business. Means I want to do only investment and marketing, nothing more. So I have clear to my papa and sir that I do not invest single minute for that business, only marketing and investment. Still, they reject the same. Means my sir has said કે મને લાગશે કે તે 1% બી તું ગોન થ્રુ થાય છે તારા ગોલથી ફોકસથી તો અહીંયાથી તું જઈશ એમ તો ક્વેશ્ચન એ છે કે જ્યારે આપણે કમિટમેન્ટ છે એમને ખ્યાલ છે કે કમિટમેન્ટ છે રિસ્પોન્સિબિલિટી છે એન્થુઝિયાઝમ છે બધું જ છે સર જે બી આઈડિયા છે બધું ક્યાંથી મશીન લાવવાની શું કરવાનું કયો માણસ બધું ડિસાઈડ મેં કર્યું અને પછી એમને પ્રોજેક્ટ મૂક્યો કે આવું આવું છે જગ્યા બી ડિસાઈડ થઈ ગઈ મ્યુનિસિપલ કાઉન્સિલરની પરમિશન લેવાની બધું થઈ ગયું છતાં બી એમને ડાઉટ એવું કહે છે કે તું તારા ફોકસમાં ક્લિયર નથી એટલે વાત ત્યાં આવે કે જ્યારે વી વોન્ટ ટુ ડુ સમથિંગ તો દર વખતે 100 જણા રિજેક્શન કેમ ફેસ કરવા પડે વાય એવરી ટાઈમ વી વોન્ટ ટુ પ્રૂવ આર સેલ્ફ
The answer is that dreaming, people do not understand. Dreams are dreams. There is a way of dream. There is a way of converting your dream into reality. It starts with finding out what are your strengths.
Yes.
It is called discover. Discover your strengths. And only on the basis of your strengths, you dream. Otherwise, you cannot dream on the basis of somebody else's strengths. So number 1 is discover your strength. Number 2 is then dream on the basis of your strength. Number 3 is design an action plan, what you are going to do. And then deliver that plan, which means you start working on it and then only a dream could be, otherwise dream has no meaning. The dream must be supported by your skill, your knowledge and ability to get resources. If she reads Gita, in Gita there is one shloka, 18:14, which gives you the ingredient of success. It says, Adhishthan, number 1, that means create an environment where your ability is used. You do not go in an environment where your ability or skill is not used. Number 2 is you, Karta. Karta means you. Whether you have skill, you have got knowledge, you have got experience, otherwise you cannot succeed. Then the resources, and not only resources. Krishna Bhagavan says the next one is processes. And he says, Vividhascha Prutaka Cheshta. Every single resource has a separate process. And that maybe is missing when you are facing this difficulty. Every single, cycle is a resource for going from one place to another. But if you know how to ride a cycle, you cannot use that skill for riding a motorcycle. And motorcycle skill you cannot transfer it to complete it to a car, and the car you cannot fly a plane. So every resource has got a separate process. And then there is an element of luck, which is about 20% luck. Follow? All that combo of all this is going to give you success. Only dream has no meaning.
If your parents are not supporting you, find someone else.
Not like that. He has given me consent, but my question is, after I have to prove means the whole Sunday I have had to convince him, and after I have said my action plan to sir, my idol, then he has said કે મને એવું લાગે છે કે તું આમાં ફેલ થઈશ, તું હજી બહુ મોટો ઝટકો થઈશ. એટલે my people reacting like this.
That is a good thing for you. If somebody is challenging you, take up the challenge and prove yourself.
Sir, એટલે મતલબ મેં agriculture base એટલે તો they know me since 3.5
See, proving something as an end result can always be done in small steps. You can ask him that what you want me to prove. He may say 10 things. Out of 10, show 2. Already done. Then he will change his opinion. See, you have to perform and you have to prove. And you have to take it up as a challenge.
Sir, we really appreciate that the facilitator has given a good learnings for the entrepreneurs. Just a question is that definitely you might have some setbacks in your life, in your professional life. So when a setback come, how do you take care of that setback and you still continue your exponential journey to the growth?
Setback is a great learning session. And you have to be humble about it. Don't crib about it. See, the major problem with the Indian psyche is, which is a normal thing, if you are trying to be in love with one girl and if she rejects you, then you, instead of accepting that you have been rejected, you will start saying, oh, she was not good for me. We have that escapist behavior in our social structure. Why? Because in our culture, having failure is a stigma. Likewise, when we were young, our parents used to be so much so possessed with that you have to do this only. Why? Because they never wanted to see failure in their life. And this has come out of insecure atmosphere of the country which lived in want. Somewhere in 63, 64, everyone was getting foodstuff on a rationing queue. Sugar, wheat, everything. So the point is that it takes generation to come out of it. But as an individual, you should be humble enough to accept it that yes, I screwed up, I think I need to change. The day you start with that equation, you will find a solution for your improvement, next move. But if you start cribbing about it, then you will stay where you are.
Good evening, sir. I'm here. My question is very simple. Is it necessary to be in corporate world before being an entrepreneur? Every story I have seen or heard is the same. Like they were in corporates initially and then they were an entrepreneur and start their own firm.
See, it is like this. You need to have skill to do something. Either you acquire by informal learning or by formal learning. But you have to acquire. I said very clearly that will has to be higher than skill, but skill is also required. Otherwise, you cannot be an entrepreneur. You have to have damn good domain knowledge, and you must know how to improvise on that knowledge. If you do it differently, then only you will succeed. If you do the same vanilla one, then you will be one of them. You will not be going above the bar. So the point is that having skill is equally important. How you acquire the skill, that is a kind of relative matter. Likewise, many of the children, who get into trade, they have that kind of family atmosphere where they learn informally and they get into trade. But if you really want to get into something in manufacturing or technology business or something which is related to product, it is not that easy. Likewise, if you talk of Balaji Wafers, his first domain knowledge was to make good quality wafers at Astron Cinema outside Rajkot. He developed that skill. Then he had a will to go above, and today he is pressing maybe more than 1 ton of wafers a day. 1 ton an hour, 24 tons a day, if they run 24 hours. So the point is that skill is important.
Thank you. This will be the last question because we are running out of time. Please, last question. You, gentlemen, that's it. Yeah.
સર આ સ્કિલ ને બધી વસ્તુ તો આપણે મેળવી જ શકીએ છીએ સ્કિલ અને જે બધી તમે એ બીજી બધી વાત કરી પણ મૂડીનો પ્રશ્ન કઈ રીતે હલ કરવાનો અને કેટલે સુધી જોખમ ઇન્ડિવિજ્યુઅલ કેપેસિટીની ઉપર લેવાનું અને મેઇન તો આ જ વસ્તુ છે કેપિટલનું પ્રોવિઝન ક્યાંથી કરવાનું બિયોન્ડ પર્સનલ કેપેસિટીની વાત છે પોતાની કેપેસિટી પૂરી થઈ જાય પછીની કેપિટલ ક્યાંથી લાવવાની
તમને એક જ દાખલો આપું છું જ્યાં મારી પર્સનલ કેપેસિટી ને મહેન્દ્રભાઈની બેવની ખતમ થઈ ગયેલી. We got this Coca-Cola order where we had to submit advance payment bank guarantee because it was a 15 crore project and we were to get 5 crore advance. So for that we were supposed to give bank guarantee. Neither me or Mahendra Bhai could give that guarantee personally. And whenever you go to any banker, he will ask for a margin money. And if you are a new company, he will ask for 100% margin money. Not 10%, 20%, 100%. And that was the biggest lesson of my life with State Bank of India, Vatwa branch. I went with all these orders, everything, and he said, no, I cannot do because you don't have 3-year balance sheet. How can I give you bank guarantee? And if you want bank guarantee because you have an operating account with me, you have to deposit 100% margin money. I said, thank you. I can promise you that 2 years after, you will come to my plant. I will never come to you. And I decided that is the last day to deal with any bank. I went to my customer and requested him that for the first and last time, I am requesting you to release this advance, make a deviation for me. Next time, I will not come and ask you. And in 1 hour, he gave me 5 crore check. And that was the end of my relationship with any bank. For last 20 years, I am running this company without any working capital from any bank.
Time is over, and I'd like to invite Govind who wanted to share his thoughts. Please come up. Govind, please. Yeah, please. He's the son of late P.V.R.N. Nair, sir. Please, he's based in Bombay.
Yeah, good evening everyone, and thank you very much for that engrossing 1.5 hours. I wanted to just share a few words. This is the first AMA event I'm coming without my father, and it's very emotional for me. Whenever I've come with him, and for him this was home. In 2003, I lost my mother, and I asked him to move to Bombay. And he said, I won't move because I can't leave AMA. And for me, that's been his biggest contribution to both Ahmedabad and to himself. So I just wanted to thank AMA for doing this today, and the entire executive committee and everybody else. And I can speak only on his behalf, he's not here, but my sister and I want to continue doing things with AMA and seeing any which way we can help in fostering entrepreneurship in India and in Ahmedabad. Thank you.
Thank you, Govind, and thank you for coming all the way from Mumbai. Great respect to your dad. And a parting note, a big thank you to all our speakers or family members, and a big thank you to all of you. Wish you a very good evening.